What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814 EDC, and today I'm ready to do my full review on the Ferrum Forge Crux. So this is a drop knife, formerly Drop, now Kaviso. This is coming to me by the way of the Apex Passaround group, so shout out to them and shout out to David over at Blade Banner for always getting cool products for us. But so this, from what I've understood, Drop, if you guys aren't familiar with it, was a website that sold knives and EDC stuff, but then they started selling like keyboards and like headsets and stuff like that. And then I'm pretty sure they transitioned to Amazon. And then I think they went bankrupt or they quit selling their EDC stuff. I'm not totally sure. The only knife that I ever bought off of Drop was my first QSP Penguin that I had, the like blue jean denim micarta one. I think I bought it for like 30 bucks on there. So I don't have a whole lot of exposure or I don't have a whole lot of understanding of what they're technically about, but I don't think they sell them anymore. And this new company, Kaviso, I think came in and bought up all of their old like products and all their old inventory that Drop didn't sell, and now they're selling it. They're a new website. I will leave a link to this knife on Kaviso's website, so you can go to that directly down there. And then if you want to explore the site, there's some other Drop exclusives and Drop type of knives on there. But this is coming to me from the Apex Passaround group, like I said. And it's a cool knife, guys. I've really, I haven't carried it a ton. It's not something that I would probably go out of my way to buy, but it's a good knife. It's a good EDC knife. I got I believe this is titanium, but I believe it's like a bronze tie. You have a milled titanium clip right there. You have a lanyard hole. You have a big flipper up here, which I don't love, kind of stands out. Then you can tell right away that this is a Ferrum Forge design. I mean, if you're in the knife community, you can easily tell that this is a Ferrum Forge design. Nice big choil up here. You have a flat grind, comes down to a decent edge. It's not ridiculously thin, but it's not thick as well, because the blade stock is kind of chunky, but it comes down to a decent edge. There's nothing over here. So there is the Drop logo. You can see the Ferrum Forge logo in there as well. And then S35VN is right above the scale. It's just a drop point, kind of a spear drop point, but just a very basic knife kind of, but it's a very good EDC knife. I would, kind of call this maybe, I would put this in the category of maybe kind of a gentlemanly type of EDC carry. You're dressing up, you want to toss, a little bit classier of a knife. I would kind of put that in that category. Sip from my big water jug. I think this is on bearings. There is no internal milling, and this has a little bit of weight to it, but it's not heavy. It's kind of like that good weight when you pick up a knife and you put it in your hand, and it just, like, there's some heft to it, but it feels good. It is a frame lock. I always tend to forget the locking method. You guys can see there's a frame lock right there. Excuse me. Titanium backspacer that goes the whole way here. Like I said, no internal milling, bearings. I think that's all for materials. So we're going to jump right into action. And this, like I said, has a big, kind of a pocket pecker flipper. I don't like it. It sticks out. We'll get to carry later, but this has a good detent. It's very snappy. Fires right out of there. This was a little stiff and it was a little dry, so I did drop some KPL down in there and kind of worked it in. It has become much smoother. And it's not going to be a drop shutter. And one reason is because you have to basically drop like way down on the lock bar for the flipper tab to miss you, because if you just put it right kind of normally where you would land, it hits me right away in the nail and you have to shake it closed. But it's very smooth. There is a small portion of it on here that you can kind of feel and it kind of hear it. It's a little bit gritty, like kind of right in here, but when you're dropping it like that, you can't tell at all. But that's another reason why I don't like how big the flipper tab is, just because I really would like it to drop and hit my nail. But if I put my thumb the whole way down here and let it swing and like miss my nail, kind of, it's gonna hit my cuticle. And I have cut my cuticle. I mean, if you're a knife guy, you have cut your cuticle a lot. But you know, sometimes when you do that and it drops completely and just free swings right onto your skin, it hurts and it'll nick you. So I really wish that they would have made that smaller. So action is good, but like kind of annoying at the same time, because it is, you know, it is really nice and snappy. It fires out of there very well. But then the close, and I mean, the shaking I don't mind, but I just really, I don't like having that flipper tab hit my thumb every single time. It kind of gets to the point where it's like annoying, to be honest with you. But so action is, I would say, good but not great, just due to different circumstances. So yeah, jumping into Ergos next. And Ferrum Forge has been kind of known as, you know, knife makers and knife designers to have very good Ergos on all of their designs. And this is definitely one of them. I believe so my first Ferrum Forge knife was the Stinger. Really liked that knife, but I just wanted to chase other stuff. And it was really great ergonomically for being kind of a smaller knife. And I think the only other one that I've had was the Stylum, the like double detent Civivi like front flipper. And I wasn't a huge fan of that knife, but ergonomically it was great. So I can contest now that this is my third one. They really do know what they're doing when they're designing something to be comfortable in hand. You know, full 4 fingers on here on the knife. I can, you know, have a little bit of the knife hanging out, but it's very comfortable. The paw clip does not sit very proud at all. It's a milled titanium clip, so you can't really feel it at all. And then you have this very generous choil that kind of comes into like a swoop down here, and my finger is just locked in. It's very comfortable. You move up off that paw clip, you can feel it even less. Excuse me. You just get locked in, and you can do some great work. The spine is, it's not crowned 100%, but it feels kind of like that. But it's very comfortable to put your thumb on. There's no jimping. I don't think a knife like this needs jimping. You know, you probably could take this to work and beat on it and use it as a work beater, but like I said, this is something that I'm, you know, envisioning someone that maybe works in an office or is going out on like a date night, or, you know, something to where you're not going to be beating on it and you know, destroying it. Not that it couldn't take it, but it's just, to me, it looks a little classier, and I think it functions a little bit classier as well. So, but yeah, Ergos are fantastic. It melts in your hand. It fits so well, super comfortable, and I, you know, have no complaints there. So next up is Carry, and I don't love the paw clip. You know, aesthetically it looks good. I always think that, you know, milled clips look great on knives, but I don't love that you're getting like this much taken up out of your pocket, because that's pretty much where it ends. Yeah. I mean, so you're going to get all that out of your pocket. I don't love that. I'm kind of a snob when it comes to deep carry like clips and knives. I much prefer a deep carry clip. And if it is a milled clip, I really would like there to be less sticking up out of there. Just kind of something I've grown to be pretty like strong about, have strong feelings and strong opinions about. So I wish that they would have maybe like, they probably could have moved the clip over like this way more and brought it up a little bit. And that would have, like, they could have easily tucked it into that corner and kind of angled it a little bit differently. And that would have made it, you know, feel much better and carry much better in my opinion, because it would have been deeper into the pocket. But then in addition to that, when you have it down in your pocket, you have this huge flipper tab. So, I mean, anything that you reach down in here for, you're definitely going to, you know, catch your hand on it. The jimping on here is not super rough, so you're not going to like catch your hand and tear your hand up on it, but you're definitely going to feel it if you have to reach down here for, you know, change, chapstick, whatever you carry down there, medicine, anything like that. So that combined with the shallow clip, I don't love how it carried, and that was partly why I didn't carry it that much, just because if I'm being frank, I didn't really want to. And whenever I had like, you know, nicer clothes on, I would carry like my tactile turn Bayer or something like that. But I did carry it a few times to get kind of a you know, a gist of it. I think it was 2 or 3 times. But you know, it's just, I would like the paw clip to be deeper, and I really wish that they would have kind of made that flipper tab a little bit smaller. So, but that takes me to my final category of price point and would I recommend this knife. I think that this knife is good in some areas and is lacking in some areas. You know, just like I went over, the carry could be better, but Ergos Are Fantastic. Action, like opening, awesome. It's very snappy for a flipper only knife. It's very easy to deploy, and then once you get past this stupid flipper tab hitting your thumb every single time, you know, it's not like a complete guillotine drop shut guy, but it's very smooth, and you just have to give it a few shakes. It's going to drop down. So I think this knife, you know, can serve a lot of purposes. But again, I've stated a couple times in this video already that I think that this is, in my opinion, best served as like kind of a gentlemanly, kind of a classy date night type of carry. It looks good in my opinion. Like I really like the overall shape of it. The blade is very reminiscent of the Mornax blade, I think, because again, that is a Ferrum Forge design. But I think these go for like 175 bucks. Again, I will leave the link down in the description below. I checked it when I first got it in, and I haven't, you know, thought to look at it since, but I'm 95% sure it's like $175. So I think that's a good price. I mean, you're getting S35VN, you're getting big chunks of tie, you're getting a great ergonomic design from a great designer in Ferrum Forge. I think we built these, so I mean, you're getting in my opinion, that's a pretty good value. I know the value of knives is you're getting better materials for like less money. It seems like every year it kind of gets like lower and lower, because Asher Knife Co, in my opinion, is probably the best budget brand going right now for S35VN, titanium, stuff like that for 100 and less, maybe a little bit over with their new Spear with the hole. But I think 175 bucks is justified. I really do. I would suggest this. Like, this isn't going to be the first knife that I go out of my way to suggest to somebody, but if I hear someone like bring up the Crux or you know, talk about it maybe, I would, you know, give my 2 cents on it, and I would say, look, it has a lot of good things going for it, a few things that I think that they could tweak or change, but you know, if deep carry doesn't bother you and this big flipper doesn't bother you with closing it and stuff like that in the pocket, then absolutely, if you like the design, then go for it. I think it's a really clean looking design. It's very just, you know, basic in my opinion, but very utilitarian and very usable, very comfortable. So excuse me. But that's really all I have to say, guys. I tried to make this this one a little bit shorter. That is something I've been wanting to do. Is some of my reviews tend to go a little bit long, and because I tend to ramble and get off topic and stuff like that. But you know, it is what it is. So, but this was my full review on the Ferrum Forge Crux, sold by Kaviso. Formerly was a drop knife. So take that as you will. You can do some research on it and maybe find out a little bit more than what I know. But again, I think that Drop quit doing EDC stuff. I think they're still selling like keyboards and whatnot. And then Kaviso came in, new company, and I think they bought up all of Drop's old stuff. So they are now selling this, and I think there's like the Ferrum Forge Buck. There's some Gavco design stuff on there. So some interesting stuff for sure. So go take a look at it if you're interested. Link will be in the bio. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. Have you guys experienced the Crux? If not, have you experienced any Ferrum Forge designs? If you have, what's your favorite and stuff like that. So I love interacting with you guys. You guys know that. It's one of my favorite things to do in the community. So leave a comment. But thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.